Morning. We've got a really insightful Platinum Tracer coaching session today by Crimson, who is a top 100 damage player. He's going to be reviewing my gameplay on Numbani today, and this map can be incredibly difficult on Tracer, but he sheds a light here on what you can do to have a really successful game. These are the keys that I think are required to get out of Platinum and elevate Tracer gameplay to the next level. As always, feel free to join the Discord channel to get in contact with our coaches. They offer completely free coaching services for the time being, so I would 100% take advantage if you're serious about improving. Let's dive right into it. I think before we get started, for anybody new that's on the stream, maybe it would be good to just do a little introduction, give a little bit of background about yourself, and yeah, and then we can hop right into it.
Sure. My name is Crimson. I'm currently a you could say a new coach, and I'm currently a top 500 player. This season I managed to peak at 101, um, and yeah, I've been enjoying the game a lot. My background primarily is Counter Strike. That's where I started, and then basically I got hooked on Overwatch as soon as I kind of like discovered it when Overwatch 2 came out. So that's what we're doing.
Nice, that sounds great, man. I'm really looking forward to finally playing some Tracer in ranked. It's been a big change of pace from the quick play that we've that we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the I know the VOD review that you had sent before offline. We didn't review it on stream or anything, but that was really valuable to watch. There's a lot of pointers there that kind of opened my eyes of like how I could be playing a little bit better. I found that and the coaching call that we did before on not Circuit Royale was is really eye-opening. I think my biggest takeaways are so far I need to really like pay attention to the spike timing and target priority. I think that's kind of where I'm lacking a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's nice to have these coaching calls because it kind of grounds me in a way and challenges me in a way that I find it so easy to autopilot when you're playing a game and just trying to learn. So it's nice to have a constant reminder of like what is important to be I need to be working on. So it's nice to be pulled back on track week after week. So
Yes.
I think it's definitely the best way to go about improvement to have somebody be able to assess where you're at and to pull you into the path that you need to be on, even though like me as a player, I'd be like, oh sure, like I need to work on mechanics, and then I'll tunnel on mechanics when not in reality, mechanics might not be the biggest bang for my buck. So it's nice to have insight from a much higher skilled player and somebody who's been in the game for a while. So yeah, these coaching calls are invaluable. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Yeah. I have like my plan for today is essentially so I have a replay code that you gave me yesterday. So we're gonna do that. I have four very specific notes on Tracer today, out of which really I think two of them are not something that I'm going to go in depth because I've noticed you already tackled one of these, that being primarily punishing out of position enemies, right? People using mobility cooldowns aggressively and not getting the reward, right? So your Reaper, in Wraith form or more is fading in into a fight or trying to get closer to one of their teammates, stuff like that. So I have noticed that you have actively been punishing that a lot more, so I'm very happy with that. So I'm not gonna go any any more in depth with that, but because it's just super self-explanatory.
Mm.
Um, uptime, uptime with Tracer, unlike a lot of the other heroes, I think a lot of the people really confuse uptime with shooting somebody and dealing damage 24/7.
Mm.
That's not the case, right? With Tracer, uptime also accounts for your setup time. So while you're doing something actively, right, you thinking into something you want to do, and setting up before a fight, the spots that you choose to say play sneaky so that you can go for a play after the enemy team has like walked past you and stuff like that. All these things that you're doing prior is still uptime, right?
Mm.
You're not autopiloting, or you're not really like waiting for anything to happen. You're just setting up for your next play. So that's still uptime, even though you're not right now in that moment shooting anybody, right?
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Um, right. So, okay. So we're gonna go and take a look at your VOD. We're gonna go. We're gonna try and get the most out of the session today. And then we're gonna also see what I had saved up for a pro tracer, so that we can break that down. You and me, both kind of like giving our input into what is it that we're seeing that the pro's doing. Okay.
Sure, yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. All right, let me just launch the game here. Here, let me go ahead and stream.
Okay. There we go, perfect. I got it here.
Okay.
I think this one was the Numbani map. Maybe the first rank play that we did for
I
our place at
can't really
Masters
remember.
yesterday.
Let's see.
Lost data.
Um,
Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. It's Crimson from our Discord.
see where
He's
the
the
code
a rank 101
Got
tracer.
it.
He has some information there on the coaching tab if you wanted to check it out.
It's already my game report.
Do you want me to resend it? Did the right code come through?
I copied it like the message you sent, but it says that it already exists, yet I don't see it. All right. Do you want to just send me a different one? See if that works.
Yeah, one sec. We could do that. Do you want to try it again? Maybe try to pull that code up again and see if it gives you the same error.
Yeah.
This is so weird. Okay, one sec. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. All right. Can I refresh the code, I wonder? History.
I think if I remember correctly, the code itself was actually in Gibraltar. Matter of fact.
Oh, you're right. It was, yeah, it wasn't Numbani. You're right. Do you see that on yours, the Gibraltar code?
That's what I'm pretty sure. Like that's what I think you pasted.
Yeah, I have the Numbani one here too. I'll share it with you as well if you can't see
Yeah. Well, let me just have that one because the other one I literally I have no idea why it's not showing up.
Yeah, that's fair. Perfect.
Ready for battle.
All right.
Ready for battle.
This one I think would be a good learning experience too.
So, I might sometimes pop out of thin air right next to you.
Yeah, Numbani is a very interesting map because the first point is by far the toughest. It's very, very difficult to break the defense. Just gotta commit a lot of resources to like displace the enemy team. Okay, so I think I briefly remember this. Okay. So to start here, you're kind of like just waiting for the enemy team to or rather your team to do something, right? I'm assuming you're just waiting for the monkey to jump in and cause a big distraction so you can start making a move. The fact is, what I would have done is very much because Sombra, like, there's literally nothing for her to worry about while she's invisible. I would have just committed my blinks past this, right? Nobody before Sojourn kind of like used her slide to get here. There was nobody really guarding this area. This was completely open. So I would have immediately taken advantage of that, come into here, and now this is a big problem for the enemy team, right? Because I completely control all this space. So either I have one of their DPS come and look for me, commit the two people from their team, Sojourn and Mercy, pocketing that Sojourn, looking for me and stuff like that. And that's just a massive, massive advantage for my team to, especially my Wingston, to just jump in and do whatever the hell he wants on point, right?
Right, okay. So being proactive with it.
Yeah, so independently of what Sombra is doing here, like me just taking control of this space allows me to do two things. Number one is that psychological pressure, right? That I have so much mobility and I can pop out at any moment and shoot somebody in the back. And number two is that I also remove the sense of safety that any players may have playing this location right here, such as Emma, right?
Okay.
So now, because she does not have anybody here helping her, I could be shooting, from the side, pulling her attention. Even better yet, make her so uncomfortable that she wants to drop and just drop this location altogether. And now that is just, all the people who are a threat in high ground are no longer here because of where I'm playing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah. So this is basically my thought process would have been being here.
Okay. So commit the blinks and take advantage of the positioning.
Because right now all you're doing is just like you're waiting for somebody else to make a move before you can make yours. But you have a kit that allows you to just literally outpace anybody, right? So
right,
just got to use it.
Okay.
See, so there goes Sombra, attempt number 2. Now she is doing exactly what you should be doing too, right?
Right.
She has the ability to do so. She is invisible. In your case, you're just nobody can touch you, right? You have blinks, so. Okay, forcing point. This is fine. Yep. So, question. Why did we go in here rather than blink past the Ramatra onto our team this side?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think my thought process was to like take cover from Sojourn and their support as well because the pressure, but in reality I think going back to the team would have made a lot more sense in hindsight. Yeah.
Okay. No, makes sense. I just wanted to see like what kind of like gave you sort of like the sense that this was actually a much safer spot. I would argue that if you're just gonna blink regardless, right, you might as well do it somewhere that it's closer to your team's territory, right? And because you had like 2 people around this area, I would very much rather regroup with them there. And maybe I live, maybe I even get that mega here and just reset, right?
Okay.
Okay. See, all these deaths right now, well, Kiriko is dead because she was, I'm sure, trying to sustain the tank. Sombra did not wait for her opportunity. I'm sure she was trying to make a play before you and Anna were back. And so this is how staggers happen. There's nothing you can do to control this, but rather the only thing that is under your control is when you die, right? So that being said, right now I probably will be setting up a little closer to the point. See, you're hesitating a lot right now when there's literally nobody to look at you to even contest or do anything, right?
Right.
You could be making space by taking control of parts of the map that are uncontested.
Right. I see.
And just behind you. Okay, try to do Diana. See, so right now, who is a good target for you? You have 2 blanks and recall.
I'd say Anna.
With the information. Okay. Anna is a definitely good target because she's not full health. Sure. Who else? Who else? If anything, like who else do you think could be a good target for you right now? Let me give you a better visual.
Also Mercy would be a good pick, just to push off.
Yeah, but she's flying. She could just glide onto high ground, and then it's just out of your reach. Who else is isolated?
Sojourn is. I didn't know she was there though.
She was shooting through the card,
Oh,
right?
she...
Like 1 second before this.
Okay.
You probably would have noticed. Matter of fact. Look at this. Taking a drop.
Oh yes, okay. The information's there, yeah. Right, that's something I need to work on is paying attention to like the some of those visual cues of shooting, because I walk right into the line of sight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Precise. Yeah. So even though Anna a second ago was very low health, she still had nade. Mercy was hovering over her, and Ramattra was still a thing, right? So because of that reason, the fact that there's a Sojourn in close quarters, nowhere to run in here by herself, this is that if I would have been in your shoes, my green light to immediately pounce on this, right?
Okay.
So moving forward, just take in that information, right? And based on that, you wanna make a call into who you probably want to jump.
Right. Okay. That makes total sense.
Oh. You get easily distracted. Look. So coming back here.
Sure.
Look at this. Hold on. Again, information. Look at what's happening in your screen right now. You saw Anna cross by herself and your Sombra immediately chasing. And you just decide, nope, not today. And just start shooting at people on point.
Right. So the green lights are 2v1s there.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Just think about it this way. Right? So your Winston has the power of both of your supports. He's not gonna let his supports, his backline die in a second, right? Especially not having DPS on him, he's not gonna be super aggressive. So
Okay.
in this moment right now, you chasing after that Ana and taking her out. Thankfully, your Sombra did,
Mm.
but just securing that kill right now takes all the risk away from this fight here on point, because you have 50 seconds on the clock before you can actually cap. So Ana being out of the fight completely is massive. And you know why? Just look at the possibility, right? Even if you're completely privy of this information, the slight thought of Ana potentially changing the tide of this fight is huge. Look at what happened just now. Your Sombra took out Ana, and look at her. She had freaking Nano, dude, on her. And Genji has also Blade. You imagine how this would have turned out if Genji gets that Nano, he wipes you, right? And then more than likely you cannot contest the point a second time.
Very true.
Right? So these are the things that make a huge difference, because if for whatever reason the Ana was a lot more skilled and essentially fights your Sombra off, and she's even assuming that Sombra still survives, right? The fact that Ana did not die allows her to make a play next, and this fight would have turned a very, very different way, right? So just minor observation there. That 2v1 was super obvious, right?
Okay. Yeah, no, totally. I see that in hindsight. I guess from my prior experience, like I guess it doesn't register as quite the green light, but when you explain it that way, it makes it's obvious sense, especially for your rank. But yeah, so I think I need to be a bit more mindful of my teammates and the plays that they're trying to make, and so that I can follow up with them.
Yeah.
I find that's a big pain point that I still struggle with, is like paying attention to like what my team is trying to do. It's very easy for me to tunnel.
Yeah, I mean, in the way how I can help you right now is just, let me just put it in very simple terms, right? It's just a matter of, it is a green light for you, because number one, if you want to break it down to the pure basics, right? It's an Ana, she's a backline, she's isolated, and it's a 2v1 that nobody can possibly assist her, right? In any shape or form. So because I see those things right now, independently of what's happening with my team, with my Winston and my supports, it doesn't matter. What I see right there and then is simply an isolated Ana with my Sombra ready to pounce on her. So making that 2v1 is all that matters, because she's an easy pick, right? That's the bottom line. She's just easy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Time to drop the bomb.
And this is okay. Okay, we have 3 blinks here. We can definitely commit on getting that Genji, especially when he's coming back with a quarter HP. Don't worry too much about mechanics. I'm not. This is trust me. This is not what I'm looking at right now.
Sure.
Decision making is all I care about right now. Okay, securing the kill here in Ramatra. Perfect. And now we cap. Yes, there's no way they can contest this. Okay, fine. See you next fight here. Okay, this is really big. I like the fact that you took that route. You kind of like fell off the second that you felt pressured. Right now, though, in this map specifically, Bob, right, in Numbani, I want you as Tracer to always, right, make sure to expand your team territory as much as possible. Right now, the Sojourn, once again, she is by herself in a very close space where you can just blink back and forth, break her ankles, and there's nothing she can do about it, because in order for her to finish you off with a rail, she needs to do follow-up shots, right? She needs to build it up. So if you blink and don't give her the chance to build up that lethal rail shot, then she's just easy pickings for you.
Right. Okay.
So also, so you're in attack right now, yes. So ideally, what I want you to do is to contest the space, regardless of who's here, right? And then when you're on defense and you're on the receiving end and the enemy team is coming and clearing that corner,
Mhm.
if you're playing Tracer in Numbani, I want you to, like, once again, make this entire space your own. Why? Because it's very open. I mean, it's not open, but in the sense that it's pretty wide inside, so you can move around freely. There's flank routes, and also gives you the ability to completely ignore main, where all the main damage is going to be coming through, off angle whenever you want, right? You can engage whenever you feel like it, right? This is the advantage as Tracer. You can just reposition, get an off angle, and as your team is kind of like by the bus or whatever, right? You can just come over here and shoot at people on the side, have them commit resources to essentially vacate you from the spot, and that's a perfect opportunity for your team to jump in here, right?
It's such a power position, you can't really give it up as Tracer, right?
Yes, power position. That's exactly what it is. So it's more a Numbani specific thing. That is a space that I want you to hold as Tracer.
Okay.
See, so right now you had resources. The reason why this is kind of tough right now, it's because, once again, so you're kind of like forcing the cart. The problem is, while I don't have any issue with you moving cart on payload, right? Most of the time, there's a very obvious fight going on at the moment, so that free progress is not possible. It's a lot easier to wipe the enemy team and then get that free progress rather than force your hand while they're like on top of you, right? You know that.
Right.
So you stacking up here with your team is what's making everything very tough, because you're not getting any chance to do anything yourself.
Okay.
So blink across if you need to, right? Just look for a different angle. This is all you're doing. Look for an off angle and start shooting at the enemy from the side. Blink back here. You have a Mega right here. Go with your Winston, play inside of his bubble, pressure people. So all these things that you could possibly be doing would relieve a lot of the pressure that your backline is getting here.
Okay.
Right?
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Because if it's a true statement that you are handling yourself really, really well in Platinum, these are the things that we need to look forward to improve and master as quickly as possible, so that next season you can just cruise through Platinum and start playing at the next tier up, right? Which is Diamond level. But for you to do that, you need to start like getting into the habit of doing these things that Diamond Tracers are going to do.
Right. Okay.
EMP activated.
Okay, so right after Anna dies here, we're at full resources, full health, blinks, and everything. The whole 9 yards. Right now, I don't think that there's a real reason for you to recall here, especially having blinks.
Right.
I would have just double blinked twice backwards, right, and get the distance instead.
Okay.
Because that will allow you to keep on poking, draw his attention, and once again have the Ramatra essentially just like force him off of the point. And I still have recall if anything happens, right? But like I can still get away, no problem. Just because he's in the middle of annihilation doesn't mean that I'm gonna die immediately. That's not a burst type of ability. So you could have saved your recall there and used the 2 blinks you had instead.
I see.
I know that you kind of fumbled this, and yeah, you get caught and die. That's fine. Again, right now off angling, right? This is the issue. We're just like in the middle of like main right now. Okay, now we're looking for a different. Go try. Anna dies anyway. This is fine. Call perfect. Okay, Anna's on my cart, so I'm gonna press forward, right? So right here, I don't stay on the cart because my Anna's already on it. I just go with the rest of my team and clean up.
Okay.
Because this right here, if you would have been just a little bit quicker, right, you would have been able to burst this Ramatra like much sooner. And without their tank, the enemy team is unable completely to regroup and contest this point. If I remember everything properly, I believe you are not able to cap the second point at all because they came back full force with everything. And yeah, let's see. Let me just make sure that I'm not talking out of my butt.
So question though, is the reason that we're pressing W on Anna's on cart here is because we've won the fight and we're just going for stagger kills? And in contrast, like if the fight hasn't started yet, would it make more sense to stay payload? Or should I always be moving ahead when there's somebody on payload?
So yeah, the main reason is to stagger people that matter, especially the tank.
Okay.
Because without the tank, it's when your tank is alive and theirs isn't, the chances for them to contest the point successfully and win a fight are extremely low. So unfortunately, right now that I'm looking at this VOD, your Winston 100% sold this fight, right? Because all he had to do was literally stay alive. They had no tank on them. But because he used his cooldowns improperly, he got caught. He got shot by railgun, and Bastion melted him immediately. Right. And so you lost the tank right before you guys were able to touch. So this is not really on you. Winston just made a huge misplay and cost you guys the point, unfortunately.
Right. Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers in.
So no matter what, if there's somebody on cart, I should be pressing W, or is it my it's pre-fight? So if it's like
very situational.
Okay.
It depends on the situation because in right now, in that specific moment, you had Anna pushing the cart for you, while Ramatra and Mercy were the only ones left in your territory after killing 3 of their teammates. So those are very important staggers. I want to get those as fast as possible. I don't want to allow the Ramatra to stay alive long enough to regroup with his team and have a fair fight. So I want to stagger him and take him out of the fight completely so that I can skip it, right? But in most other situations, it's really up to you, right? If you already won the fight, and there's still plenty of way to go before you reach the next checkpoint, I would probably stay on the card with my Anna, right? Just so we can like move the card a little faster. But in this situation, there were like 2 people that were not regrouped, right? They were left behind. So those are stagger kills that are very important, and I'm gonna chase that.
Okay, that's crystal clear. Perfect. Okay, cool.
We're kind of scouting. Immediately we know they have a ball. Sojourn's still a thing. I definitely don't want to go there. And you don't, which is perfect. We're taking top. You realize this. You come up here, start poking. Okay, good movement. Good use of cover. I like it. Okay. See, right now, you have 1 blink in recall. Dude, don't be afraid to go aggressive, right? The BAP is on top of that bus. Recalling his face, empty his clip out, even melee him, see if you can get the kill. If you don't, no big deal. We just recall back out to this exact same spot, and we're safe. We're just wait, and no big deal, right? No harm, no foul.
Right, okay. I need to be cognizant of my recalls and play aggressive when I have it.
Yep, because there's not even a fight going on right now, so him being left behind by himself right there, while you still have some resources, is a huge green light, right? Just use them.
Okay.
Screw it, you know? Huge. That was really good backup there. So right now, we definitely want to go back to high ground. Why? So that we can get a full picture of what's happening and select a target accordingly, right? Does that make sense? Like, you just want to go back to higher ground so that you get a full view of what's going on around you.
I see. Okay.
Because if you notice right now, their tank was the only person playing in low ground, right? So because I don't want to waste my time and my ammo on Hog, I want to go back up to get a clear picture of where my enemies are, and then knowing that, choose a target that that matters.
Right. I see. Okay.
Beautiful. Good punish. Good stagger. See, but you saw that opportunity. It was like clear as day for you, right? You had 3 blinks available. Sojourn has nowhere, like no teammates near her. I'm getting that 100%, right? So
Yeah.
this is that same mindset you gotta have whenever somebody else does the same thing, right? Especially backline or support characters.
Right. Okay.
This is fine. I love that you don't give up your high ground here. You just keep on poking, and that's perfectly acceptable. Ooh. See, all that practice of blink, pulsing, and everything, the perfect opportunity presented itself for you to try it, and you don't go for it.
I was just a little sluggish with it. I second guessed it.
I know, it's ranked, so like you're more dialed in, and I get it. All good. See, Mark and Tracer right now, it's very important. Okay, stay alive. Good. See, so this is where map awareness is pretty big. I think you managed to kill the enemy Tracer because she goes for the Mega here. I think. Or the Sojourn rather. Okay, yeah, this is huge. Beautiful. Good practice, dude. Good practice. Blink exactly when she decides to look back on you. And you finish the kill here because she does not get a chance to build rail for you. You see that?
Right.
Helden sterben nicht.
Okay, like it. Now, the only reason why you would not go for a hard flank here and make a play is just simply because of composition. They have an enemy Tracer that can actually punish and chase you down, so we don't attempt it. But if they didn't have a Tracer, it would be totally acceptable for you to go all the way around through the point and on their back, right? Because you have recall. So,
I see.
Look.
Okay. So is it the more brawly they are, the less inclined you would be to do it, or is it just because the fact they have Tracer, like a Tracer or Sombra?
yeah, and well, Tracer 100%, because she can very much. You're gonna have to use blanks to get away and stuff like that. Meanwhile, she can commit her resources and her kit to chase you and do damage while you're not even fighting back, right? So that's the only reason why, if I was in your position, would not be trying to go for a hard flank, is simply because they have an enemy Tracer.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay, good job. You remember the advice that I the piece of advice that I had for you when I said BAP is always a really good target for Pulse?
Yes, because it forces blink, and then even if Pulse hits, you get the kill afterwards anyways.
Right. So that's exactly what it is. Good. I am very glad that you attempted to go for him, because even if he does get Lamp out on time, Lamp is gonna die because of Pulse. But because Lamp is gonna be taken out immediately and like right soon after, BAP is still gonna lose health regardless. He's gonna be safe, but by the time Lamp is gone, he's only like 20 HP. You know what I mean? So he's like, you can literally just like shoot him once and he's done.
Right. I get you.
Okay, this is okay. We won that fight. Good job. Totally worth it. Now, as you get better with Tracer, more confident, you're gonna notice that you can probably get out of that situation without having to burn your recall. But right now, for the sake of it, I love the fact that you did it just to be on the safer side. So, good job there.
Okay, cool.
Good target priority, good timing. You're pulling so many resources away from them right now. Good job, dude. Oh. Owned by map geometry.
That's my worst opponent.
Oh, she's out in the open, no slide. Beautiful. Good punish. That's exactly what I want to see. Your Sigma goes like freaking huge here. This is so winnable. No echo. You lost your Junkrat, but that's okay. So because you're missing a DPS right now, you gotta play this a little safe.
Okay.
Look at this right now, Bob. Look at where Hog is right now in reference to the rest of his team.
Right.
Right? He's pretty forward. Right?
Okay.
So the only way that these guys get value being down one, right, is for Hog to get an immediate pick on somebody important. How can you deny this? Remember what I said about Hog? Like, the most effective way to deal with a Hog is to do what?
To cut off his resources, right?
Yes. Just like with every other, like, quote-unquote unkillable tank. Mainly your Hogs, your Orisa, and your Maga, right? Same deal, right? So, because his team is so far back, and I hear him, right? If I'm you and I'm on your POV, like, I hear his steps, I would basically look at this play right here. Once again, big space that is for Tracer, right? I just blink here, and look, I have free reign over their backline just by being in this position.
Right.
Now, Hog is completely by himself, dealing with a very annoying Sigma with shield and with a stun, right, in the rock, interrupting his breathers and whatnot. Meanwhile, I'm shooting the Zenyatta or the Lifeweaver, and I'm forcing, even with a little bit of luck, their Sojourn to turn around and peel for them, right?
Right.
So
okay.
then this Hog has zero chance of controlling any space whatsoever because he has no resources of any sort.
Right. Okay.
So this is important, right? This just the fact that you own the space because their tank decided to press forward by himself allows me to just do whatever the hell I want with this backline and lowering their chances of winning the next fight. Because look at the timer. It's just pretty much if you get secure any kills right now in this second, dude, the fight is as good as won, right?
Right. Okay, cool. So like the mindset that I have been in is like, because when the tank is overextended, I've just learned to try to punish them. But I mean, he's not overextended. He's just a little further away from the team. So as Tracer specifically, I think I need to be in the mindset of, okay, if the tank's overextended, then that means that their backline's kind of by themselves, or they need to push up forward to help their tank. So if I can prevent that, then that's the best case.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with your take on it. In this situation, I don't think you're wrong. I do believe that the Hog is very, very overextended, but he's part of the 3 tanks that are unpunishable in the regards of killing them, right? The punishment does not come in the way of killing the tank. You have no way of doing that. But the punishment for him would be for you to access his backline super easy and just, wreak havoc there.
Okay, right,
That's
right,
his
right.
punishment.
Gotcha.
So
That's an interesting idea to not punish him, but his teammates, and like, and in essence, yeah, okay.
see, more than likely, you would have been able to land that stick for free if these guys were not expecting you, right? But because you lingered in this area for a little too long,
Mm,
they kind of, Senia kind of just, went full DPS mode in 1v1 you,
yeah.
unfortunately for you. But just being in the right position, dude, would have allowed you to, like, it would have given you so many more opportunities to do something, right? To get
Right.
value in some way.
10 seconds remaining.
This one's ours.
All right. Someone's by himself. Ooh. If you don't miss the melee there, like, he dies. Like, super quickly there. Okay. All right. Good deal, dude. Like, you did pretty damn good. Mostly the takeaways from this VOD review were pretty much just pay attention to the information you already have in your hands, right?
Okay.
Pay attention to those green lights. Don't have to think very thoroughly about certain things or make it super intricate and complicated. If you see somebody overextended, and that Anna was overextended at the very beginning, right? Which is why your Sombra jumped at the opportunity. Just 2v1 her. 2v1 her, make sure that she dies, and then having no Anna there with no cooldowns, no sleep dart, no nade, no nano, right? Massive. Like, that fight would have been significantly easier for your team.
Right. Okay.
That's pretty much it. Any questions?
So yeah, so the big takeaways is like paying attention to those green lights. So specifically the green lights that you feel that I'm missing are on the isolated targets, and then like following up on the team's gameplay, my team's gameplay.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. I don't think I had anything really to complain about regarding like your mechanics or like the usage of your cooldown and stuff like that. There were some optimizations that you could have, had, but that's no big deal. Over time, even if I don't like teach you those optimizations, you're just gonna find out naturally, right? So mainly was just, yeah, target priority, right? Because you have information like at your disposal at any given moment. So acting on it is very important. And secondly is positioning, right? Just super basic. This is one of your fundamentals that you already have with Soldier that sometimes you may forget. So with Tracer, because of your mobility, you will always want to leverage her kit, right? So don't stack up in main too often. Off angle as much as you can while you're fighting. And then if there's nothing else to do, jump on the card, get progress for free, do whatever you need to do, right? So
Okay, perfect. So then for homework, I need to, I think, just be like, so moving forward in my gameplay for this week, then like I could have mini goals on trying to just pay attention to those green lights for the isolated targets, follow up on team play, making sure that I'm not like when I do play tank line before the fight, I need to be not in main but just off like in those shops, for example, looking for the green lights a little bit more proactively, because I find if you're in main shooting like that, you're kind of wrapped up in the fight, and you're like you can't necessarily, you don't have like much scouting opportunity, I find, I guess is the best way I can put it. So that plays into the positioning part of things, right?
yes, I definitely would say, yeah, your exercises throughout, especially today and then the rest of this week as you play on next season, is you already do a fair bit of scouting, right? You're not rushing, you're not reckless with Tracer, you're not forcing your hand at any given moment, right? So the slowing down the pace and kind of like assessing what's going on, it's already that you're doing naturally, right? You kind of like taught yourself to look for these lights, right? Whether red or green. So the scouting part you already do. So now what you have to incorporate is specifically what you're going to be chasing after as an exercise is based on the information that you're getting from your scouting, act on it. right? And then in those payload maps where you have to escort the cart, then just look for off angles of any sort. But as long as it's an off angle, right? Not stay on the cart with your backline, because
Mm,
the scouting part, it's not going to work for you. You're not going to be able to see everything that you could see because your positioning does not allow it.
right. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
All
Yeah.
right, and so give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring up the quick review we're gonna do here on sugars free POV. Okay,
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah. That sounds good. Perfect.
we still have like 15 minutes left, so we're good.
Yeah, yeah. No rush at all. Yeah, that's a great idea to be able to do like a VOD review of a higher level. What? He's OWCS, right? Sugar free.
Yes, Sugar Free used to play for Toronto Define when Toronto Define was still a part of Overwatch League, and now that the league is no longer there, he's still like retained the name of the org, even though they're not. I don't think they're still contracted or anything like that, but he's still in Toronto Define with a couple different teammates. And yeah, Sugar Free has been a professional for quite a bit. He is North America's best tracer, in my opinion. And
Mm,
then yeah, he's extremely high level. Like people have a lot of like discussions and arguments about like who can compete with like top of European talent, stuff like that. But Sugar Free skill wise, dude, he's up there. He's right, like they're up with Kafsur and other guys. He's incredible.
okay, cool. Does he compete anymore, or is he kind of retired from the scene?
I don't know. He's still pro. I mean, obviously, OWCS was the first like big LAN event that he attended after the league died.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he's fully like still under that professional grind still.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think you mentioned him in chat a little while ago, or maybe on Discord, and yeah, I haven't had an opportunity to watch him, so this will be good. I'm excited.
All right, so let me go ahead and stream the screen.
It's always so interesting to watch the different play styles of like rank one players, or like players of the OWCS. You can very like you can pick apart like the play styles like Kevster is very much more like an annoying mosquito behind the line like 24/7 versus like
More,
I'm not sure what Sugar Free's play style is quite yet, but like I don't know, like even like Alpha Yi or like Top Dragon and like those kind of guys, they're a lot more aggressive with their play style.
oh, he is too, believe me. But the good thing about him is that Sugar Free is extremely adaptable. So like
Mm,
he is able to identify things and he goes full force and full send when he has to. But then when things are not optimal, he's like, I'm just gonna kite here. I'm gonna survive, and then I'll make my play when the time is right.
right. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So unfortunately, the code that I had for him from OWCS is no longer valid, obviously, because we've been through a couple patches since, so
All
that
right.
didn't work. But I did find this video, and it's extremely good, educationally speaking. Not because of him, obviously, he's just streaming. This is just a thing, a recording of what he was doing during his stream.
Yeah.
But I can definitely break it down for you. So what he's doing right now is simply just poking, right? He's not doing anything special. He's making sure that he has a full view of what's happening as he's defending the point. Okay, so Hog is over there, right? So
Oh,
you
I
see how
don't think
he's using
actually.
the
Oh,
map, right?
sorry. I need to get in the stream here. There we go.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you had it up.
There we go. We're good.
Okay, let me start it over then. This is good because it's a short one. So he's defending, right? You can actually see a couple different spots for Tracer in Blizzard World. Are you able to see the feedback here, the video?
Yeah, that's good. We can see it.
Okay, okay. All right, and I promise I have the highest quality setting right now, but
It's all good. You can actually see it pretty
yeah.
good.
Okay. So he's just scouting, right? Just like you would, right? He's just assessing. You see the hog changes positioning, so he just used the blink to be safe, and he's not doing anything special right now. He's just
Mm.
scouting what's happening. All right, so his bull died. The hog obviously that's a green light. Proceeds to go ahead and take some space, but you see he's using the entire map, right? He's going past the space right here. He's using this entire space that you see because the enemies already walked past this, right? And using it to his advantage to stay alive. This is
Mm.
why Tracer is such a great DPS character because your backline most of the time don't have to worry about you. You have self-sustain, right? So you can play your health backs, you have the mobility to escape most situations. So he just staying alive right now and waiting for his team to come back and contest the point is the play here. Now he goes even more aggressive because Kiriko's by herself and he decides, you know what, I wanna remove her from this location. So he pressures her, makes her TP out. So now he's even closer to the fight. This is his recall. Okay, I don't have resources, so we're gonna play a little chill here. He
Chill
gets
and then
out.
place in the whole enemy
Yeah.
team. That's impressive.
Well, the thing is, like, he had an orb from Zenyatta, so he is using that to his advantage, right? Because he's getting constant
Oh,
healing because of it. So he played a lot more aggressive there.
I
I
see.
probably, just like you, just like right here, I would have waited a little longer, right? I would have not been here with no recall and no blinks,
Yeah.
right? But the reason why he did it is because he had full confidence that his team was just going to roll in, and not one of the people that he has on his screen right now is going to just commit on him. Why? Because the ball is rolling right through. Zenyatta's coming in, and I think whoever is the second support was already like past this arch on the right. So he is full confident that his team is going to keep him alive, and I guess they did. I personally, just like you, more than likely, I would have played a lot more like safer overall, but that's just me.
Okay, yeah. Fair.
See that right here?
So no nade.
The immediate, yes, no nade, and he immediately goes for a short blink, meaning he has no directional input. He just looked at the direction of the Cassidy, blinked, and then 180 melee. Why? Instead of just mailing normally, the reason why he blinked past them and 180 is because when you're in the animation of mailing, when you turn around, it's like a big like AoE type of situation. So you guarantee the hit rather than potentially miss it. Does that make sense? Like you swing your punch around essentially.
Oh, really?
Take a look.
Interesting. Okay. He hits that.
Saw that? Mm-hmm. Did you see it though?
Yeah, because
See
he's
the 180?
like yeah, I did. But he's like much further behind Cast, like where a melee like is out of range, but because
Yeah,
he
no,
blinks through him, it still hits?
it still hits because it's a lingering hitbox. So
No way.
So
Okay.
that's why he went for the 180 rather than the super direct. I blinked like at your feet and then mail it because you're in front of me. He went way past them, used the lingering hitbox of the melee, and then that's a lot of the pros do that kind of shit. But again, you don't have to worry about too much because eventually you're gonna get there the more you play Tracer,
Right.
not organically speaking. But yeah, it's just one of the advanced techs that you can learn with her. So once again, we're back at we're just back at just scouting, right? There's not much going on. It's just defending point. So he keeps rotating back and forth based on where the enemies are playing. See that?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, he's not conservative with playing near main.
So just look at that. So Jesus, why is that? YouTube control suck? Right here. So he has 0 blinks, no recall, one of his blinks is coming back.
Hmm.
The opportunity presented itself in that the enemy tracer decided to go chase after his Cassidy, and he was within his line of sight. So there you can see his target priority immediately because it's an opportunity. Tracer is out there not shooting at him. He has a chance to just get close and shoot at her instead, right? So
Mm.
that's immediate target priority, switching from whatever you're doing to whatever comes into your, like, something that demands attention essentially immediately.
Right, I got you.
So you saw it, do it again, right? You just saw that.
Yeah, yeah. I do the
180.
180 blinks. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Unbelievable
because
tracking.
Zenyatta was ulting. He was like super safe, so he decided just to finish him off with a second melee, just walking up to him. You know what I mean? Nothing flashy about it. He just did it because he knows that he's getting constant healing and he doesn't have to worry about it.
Right, I see.
And you see right here, perfect example. Any other person would be like super pressure, like, oh my god, I gotta hit this melee, I gotta blink melee properly. He's like, no, I'm just gonna shoot her. She's 1 HP. I'm just gonna just guarantee the kill. You know what I mean? He's not overcomplicating it.
Right, I see. He's sticking to the basics.
Yeah, I mean, he could have definitely melee her if you wanted to, but like, was it necessary? Not really. The melee, it's most a tool to like finish off a kill because you're bursting them down with a combo, right? You're shooting them, and then
Mm.
after your clip, they get low enough that they can be killed right away. So you use that last little bit with the melee before you have to reload to finish the kill. That's exactly what, you know, the best textbook usage of melee is exactly that, just confirming kills after you're done emptying a clip.
Right, I see.
So whatever, they win the point. Just focusing on staying alive right now. He's always doing something though. You see, his downtime is very minimal. Even though he lost the fight and stuff, he's always looking for an angle, poking,
Mm.
right? Looking for information, right? So I mean, this is tough. The hog is in main right there, up in the ramp. So I'm just gonna go look for a different off angle here.
This guy's
Just waiting.
sensitivity is wild. It's so fast.
See that? So what happened here? So what in your head do you think it's the reason for him to engage here?
If we can go back to my knowledge and experience, then I think Hog's still up, right? So he's trying to cut resources off.
Yes.
That's my best guess.
But let me play this back a little bit, a few seconds prior, and then see if we can catch something else.
Okay.
You see it?
So he's engaging with ball.
Yes, because his ball is taking the initiative. So his ball is about to spike, right?
Mm, I see.
So
Okay.
he's using that opportunity. Especially so US Tracer, this is how you're gonna maximize and just roll teams if you're able to kind of follow up on if you have a tank that also dives.
Mm,
If you see that, right, and your tank is doing something like that, this is a perfect chance for you to go with them and try to make the most out of that spike, right?
so
You
true.
just go in too.
Right. Okay.
Because of that, the Anna missed her sleep dart because she was overwhelmed for a quick second. She was getting a lot of attention and she didn't want that. So she panicked. She used her sleep dart. She missed it. And now
Mm.
we're at full HP with 1 blink, almost 2, recall. And look at this. Perfect situation right now to 1v1 a Tracer. She's not at an off angle of us. She's just in a straight line, right? So this is a way like more for a fight for you as Tracer in this situation.
Okay.
1v1ing a Tracer. Because you don't want to chase that, you just leave. Right? Makes sense?
Right. Yeah.
and we're back at it. My ball's just doing stuff again. He died to a pulse bomb, and now we're just gonna try to stay alive. Simple as that. You see how independent he is from his team, right? It doesn't matter what's happening with his team. He's just doing his job, right? Distracting people, cutting resources away, jumping at people that are low HP, right? So this is why it's good to see how like people at very high level play the character, so that you can pick up on these things and apply them yourself, in your games eventually.
Yeah, and so do you think he's playing more independently because there's a ball on his team for playing tank? Does that
No,
contribute to it more?
If he had a different tank altogether, he would be playing exactly the same way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's
It's just
very
with Wall, it's
independent.
easier. With Wall, it's easier because he's a very like super obvious dive tank, so he tries to follow up with what he does too. But if
Mm,
Ball is not around, he's still doing the same thing. He's still scouting. He's still looking for info. He's still like diving people when out of position.
right. Okay.
Right there at this Cassidy, look at his health. Somebody else would have gone greedy and chased after that, but he acknowledged that he didn't have the proper opportunity to do so.
Mm. Yeah,
Forward here
this
towards
is
the
on a
end.
different level. It's useful to have the commentary to break it through, because like if I were to watch this myself, I would just try to defer my own experience onto it and try to justify the reasons why he's doing what he's doing. But it's nice to have your commentary on it, because you're actually understanding the little nuances of everything. Yeah.
And as you play the game more, dude, you're gonna find out like you're gonna be able to start picking up on things that professionals are doing or high level players
Mm.
by just looking at it. Because once you have unlocked that next sort of tier, when you can read the game flow properly, you can understand like high level gameplay without anybody like explaining anything to you. Like you can see the reason behind this or that action.
Right. Yeah, yeah, totally. Okay.
He's just pushing with his tank normally, just like making some space for himself, putting pressure on Hog. Why? Because even if we don't kill him outright, we're still applying the DPS passive, right? Making it very difficult for him to heal. And his team just gets wiped.
Mm.
Unfortunate. So look at his approach when trying to get back to the point, right? The enemy team only has to defend the point, so they're staying there. They're not holding close. So he just walks for free, looks for an off angle. Hog is on this side, so we try left, right? He's on right, we're just gonna go left. Now we're just like trying here to look for a different angle. Because we have burned a Rico, and we definitely don't want to be here around this corner, right? There's like 4 people right here.
Yeah.
So naturally, if you're in this situation, you look for an off angle, a different opening. In this case, it just happens to be a hard flank.
Right. So his idea of like taking like an aggressive flank even without recall is it's impressive, because he still knows what he can get away with. I mean,
Yeah, bro.
did he have 3 blinks going into that, or was he completely out of resources?
When he flanked,
Yeah. I think
he
he's
was
pretty low.
pretty out of resources.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he had 1 blink at the most. But the reason why he went with it anyways was simply because he could still distract, right? So it's
Mm.
pressure relief that he has on point by doing that.
Right. I see. Okay.
And unfortunately, his team dies to the whole Hog. Comes down to a 1v1 versus him and the Hog, and he doesn't die. And yep, he loses the game at that point. But the main takeaway that I have from this is that even at the professional level, he's doing a lot of the things that we've talked about already, in a much more polished and efficient way. But it's the same things that you're already trying to do in your games. Does that make sense? It's nothing like foreign. It's nothing flashy or extraordinary by any means. It's
Yeah.
just doing the same stuff that you do, more consistently, right? That allows him to play at that level. So that's all there is to it.
Yeah, it's impressive to see the uptime um with Sugar Free, even though he's even behind the team a lot of the time. Like I find like my uptime, I guess not uptime, but like my damage output is much lower because my timing's not quite there when I'm trying to do the sandwich angles, because I'm distracting, but like I'm distracting more than I can chew
Mhm.
off, and then I my damage suffers for it. But it's impressive to see him do the same thing but like at a higher efficiency and still like maintain like an unbelievable amount of damage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that will just come with time and like through reading the game over time to be able to maintain that damage while also staying kind of like in their backline. Because there's not
Yes,
too
it
many
will.
times that he was really playing main at all, or like a tank line. He was always off on the off angle or behind them, and he still maintained that damage.
Correct. So yeah, with time, you're just gonna find out that as you get more confident with Tracer, you again just like I predicted, right? The better you get at the character, you simply can dedicate your mind and your brain and processing power
Mm.
into just reading the game flow. So because of that reason, he is allowing himself to be always in positions where he can be annoying and pesky and doing damage and putting pressure, right? Because he understands he always has escape route, he has huge mobility, and then if the other team is playing with the Tracer too, he's still going to do those same things, but not to a huge extent, right? He's not gonna, if doing what you just saw is 150% of his performance with an enemy tracer, that he's going to have to cut that down to probably a 90% of what he's attempting to do, right?
Oh, interesting.
Because
Okay.
yeah, because otherwise he's just going to get punished every single time.
Mm.
Even as a pro, he knows that he's playing against another highly skilled tracer, so a pro can still make around probably 5 to 7 mistakes in a game, whereas metal rank players probably can pull off 25 or even 30 mistakes in a game. So the disparity is pretty big,
Yeah.
but the pros still make mistakes. Don't get it twisted, right? It still happens. It's just way less frequently.
Yes, yeah. It's about polishing your consistency in the game so that you're consistently playing at that high level. That's the reason that they're the rank that they are, because they just their approach is just to minimize their mistakes, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct. All right, man.
Yeah.
That's all I have for you today.
That's wonderful, man. The coaching call for Numbani was really insightful. I've definitely got my homework. I think my big takeaways, like you said, were to like pay more attention to the green light, specifically to like isolated targets, and then try to follow up on my teammates' play a little bit, and then couple that with my target priority and positioning. I'll focus on that as we go into the new season. So yeah, I appreciate you walking me through that map there, and then the commentary on Sugar Free was actually really cool to see too. So yeah, I appreciate that, Crimson. Thank you.
You got it, man. All right. So play hard. See if you can get your placements out of the way to see where we land on this account. And hopefully I can see you like, in the next streams for the rest of the week, like playing at, that high level that you right now, you're playing fantastic, dude. Don't like put yourself down, or like you're playing really, really good right now. So just keep it up. All right.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And for anybody new that's watching on stream, where can people find you?
I'm on Bob's Discord. My most of the time I'll be there. You can reach me through a message. I'm usually available most of the days, but if you need a session, they're completely free. Just hit me up. We can schedule it. Make sure that the time works for the both of us. And yeah, I'll be happy to work with anybody that's trying to get better.
Wonderful, Crimson. Well, thank you so much for being on stream. I appreciate you, man, and I'm sure we'll be chatting really soon.
You got it, man. All right.
All right, take
Good
care.
luck.
Thanks. You too. Bye bye.